Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a fascinating geopolitical chess game. It starts with a move by Turkey and Pakistan that seemed pretty standard, but it triggered a countermove from India and Israel that is, well, it's absolutely massive. And this isn't just about a few arms deals. We're talking about a deep strategic alliance that could literally reshape the balance of power across Asia. So, it all kicked off with what seemed like a fairly straightforward plan. Turkey and Pakistan were going to team up on a new defense project. But that one move set off a wild chain reaction, provoking a counterplay that would end up completely dwarfing what they had in mind. So on one side of the board, you have Turkey and Pakistan announcing a plan to assemble drones. It's a significant move, for sure, but it's a tactical one. Now look at the other side. Israel and India's response is on a whole other level, shifting Israel's entire large-scale defense manufacturing ecosystem onto Indian soil. So you have to ask, why such a dramatic pivot? I mean, this was not just some knee-jerk reaction. The truth is, Israel was already facing a whole series of mounting pressures that, when you look at them all together, basically cornered them into making this incredibly bold strategic shift. You know, the real genius of this whole gambit is how it solves multiple critical problems all at once. It's honestly a masterclass in turning a whole list of really serious, business-killing challenges into one single massive opportunity. To really get the full picture, you gotta rewind the clock just a few years. Between 2015 and 2019, Israel was an absolute powerhouse in India's gigantic defense market. Think about this. They were responsible for a staggering 34% of all of India's arms imports. They were at the absolute top of their game. But then it just collapsed. I mean, look at this chart. That dominant 34% share, it absolutely plummeted to just 9% by 2022. And today, it's even lower, just hovering around a mere 5%. Israel was being systematically squeezed out of one of its most critical markets on the planet. So what happened? Well, it was a real convergence of factors. First, India's very powerful Make in India policy started to demand that weapons be built on Indian soil. At the exact same time, Israel's list of potential big-ticket buyers was shrinking around the world, leaving India as one of the very few viable, long-term partners left on the chessboard. So, faced with this pretty serious dilemma, Israel found an incredibly elegant solution. Instead of trying to fight India's new policy, they just decided to lean into it completely. They turned the very rule that was boxing them out into the foundation of their entire comeback strategy. And they found their inspiration in this super successful BrahMos model. Now, this is the blueprint where India and Russia teamed up to jointly develop, build, and then export an advanced missile system. It's a proven win-win, right? So Israel looked at that and thought, okay, we can do that, but we can do it even bigger. And this just brilliantly illustrates their new playbook. You take Israeli tech and you combine it with Indian manufacturing. They form joint ventures, they build everything in India, and then they export these systems with a Made in India label. This neatly sidesteps any potential boycotts and creates a shared profit engine for both nations. It is, frankly, a genius move. And the sheer scale of this plan is really something to behold. I mean, this isn't just about selling a few systems or licensing some tech. What we are witnessing is the deep, deliberate integration of two national defense ecosystems. And hey, that's not an exaggeration. The Israeli media itself is framing it in these historic terms. A headline like this signals a fundamental long-term shift in Israel's entire national security strategy. They are betting their defense future on this partnership. And this is all happening right now. By 2026, thousands of Israeli-designed, Indian-made machine guns are going to be rolling off the line. And over the next decade, that expands to advanced drones and air defense systems, with the ultimate goal being a fully unified industrial base. What makes this alliance so powerful is that it's already passed what analysts are calling an iron test. A lot of people assumed the relationship was totally dependent on U.S. goodwill, but it has proven to be incredibly durable all on its own. This bond is built on solid, independent, mutual interests, not the shifting winds of Washington politics. So let's circle all the way back to where we started. Now that we see the sheer depth of this India-Israel plan, it's crystal clear how it doesn't just counter the Turkey-Pakistan move. It completely and utterly outplays it on the geopolitical chessboard. I mean, the difference in scope here is just stark. The Turkey-Pakistan plan is for drone assembly. It's tactical. It's a limited partnership. The Israel-India plan is a full-spectrum defense integration, a strategic, industrial alliance covering everything from small arms to the most advanced missile defense systems in the world. And this is precisely why analysts are calling it a complete checkmate. It's a move that doesn't just respond to a threat, it fundamentally alters the strategic calculus of the entire region by creating a new, formidable industrial and military powerhouse. And that leaves us with a really crucial final question. What we're witnessing is the birth of new power blocks, forged not just in diplomacy, but in steel. As these military-industrial alliances harden and grow, you have to ask yourself, how will they ultimately reshape the global balance of power?